Hi guys, I'm back. I just had to update you on a dream I had this week. It's very important because it's a follow-up dream to the dream I had 8 years ago about the tsunami in New York City. And it's very urgent. I'm feeling that it's very urgent, and that it's possibly very soon. I just don't know. I'm not even gonna speak on that because I'm just gonna show you what I have. So it starts with me. I was with a friend in New York City, and we were on the ground, and we were with a group of like tourists and sightseers and stuff, and we were just hanging out. It kind of looked like it was like we were like in a kind of like a park, but we were by like the shoreline. We were close to the shoreline. We weren't on it. We were close to it in New York. I think we were in Manhattan, but So I was talking to my friend, and I have to mention this because at first I didn't want to mention this until I had to look it up. But my friend, she looked like Topanga from Boy Meets World, and I was like, "There's no way I'm telling people this," but I had to look it up, and then I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna share it because um, it ended up being a important detail." So I looked up the name Topanga and what the meaning is, and it means where the mountain meets the sea. And I remember seeing somebody else had a dream on YouTube. I have to find it for you guys. If I'm able to find it, I'll link it in the description box. But give me some time because I might have to go really hunting for this one because I saw it a couple months ago. But the lady had said that when she dreamed that the water would reach the mountains, and when she meant mountains, the Appalachian Mountains. So anybody that's on any surrounding, it's not just Manhattan, guys. It's any surrounding cities that are close to Manhattan, close to that coastline, they're gonna be getting hit too. So, yes. So my friend, she looked like Topanga from Boy Meets World, which means where the mountain meets the sea. So the water, that's confirmation. The water is going to meet those mountains, guys. So if you're in any of those areas, pray to the Father. Pray to Him. Talk to Him. Get close to Him in this time. Ask Him what you should do. Obviously, some people are going to have to obviously leave if you live in those areas. But ask Him for direction where you should go, who you should rely on, and all those things. So yeah, when this comes to pass, or when it gets, ask Him when these things will be occurring for confirmation of them. And humble yourselves, please. Please. Now is not the time to be just living your life vicariously like you've always been. So, and as I'm talking to my friend, I told her, I said, have I ever mentioned to you about the dream I had of New York City being completely underwater? So I'm telling her this as I'm dreaming this. I'm talking about my past dream while dreaming in this dream. And she said no. So I told her, I said that a tsunami had come, and it left New York City, and the upper part of the Statue of Liberty was the only thing that I saw left. And I want to mention that I was mentioning that, wow, it's like, it's sunny outside. It looks really sunny. It kind of, in my dream, it reminded me of my other dream, how it looked outside. Like everybody was like living their life, every business as usual, doing what they do, everyday task, enjoying themselves. It was warm. It was sunny. It was beautiful. It was summer. It was summer. This is what worries me, guys. Pray for confirmation on this. It was summertime when this was happening. And it's summer. Now, I don't know. I just know that it was summer, guys, when this was gonna happen. And then I was saying to her, I was surprised that it hadn't happened yet. And it must be soon. Then my friend and I, we ended our conversation. And then I went to talk to some other people in the group that we were with. And as I'm talking to these other people, my friend, Topanga, Topanga lookalike, taps me on my shoulder and points. And it's this giant wave coming. And I yell out loud, "Run! Run!" So everybody starts running and I'm yelling out loud, "Get to the tallest building you can climb up." So me and my friend, we get inside this building and we go into the elevator. You know, and as this was happening, like the water was already rushing at our feet, at our ankles and stuff when it was rising. And we go into this elevator and I have her pressing the buttons to the highest floor we can get to. And eventually the elevator stops because the water ended up rising into the elevator shaft. And then I'm like, okay, we end up like trying to escape up. You know, sometimes like in movies and TV, you see in the elevators they have like an escape door in the ceiling. So that's what we ended up doing. We ended up going through there, and we were close enough to the next floor that we could open the door together to get onto the next floor. And when we got there, the water had like stopped, and it didn't reach that next floor. So we got into the next floor, and there was a whole bunch of people on the floor. There were children, adults, just families there. And I just ended up walking up to a group of the people there, and I said to them, like, I kid you not, I was just telling my friend about a dream I had about a tsunami hitting New York City 8 years ago. And look here now. I said to them, if you don't know Jesus, now's the time. And then as this is happening, I'm thinking about one of my relatives. I have a specific relative that lives in New York City that I've warned about what's going to happen. And I was thinking about calling him in my dream, but I didn't have enough time because there was another tsunami coming, guys. Another tsunami was coming. And so I'm like, come on, run, let's go. So we're running up the stairs in this building, all of us, a whole bunch of group of people. Obviously, people are being swept away because this water is so high, it's inside the building. So there's nowhere to truly run but going up. There's nowhere to run. And so people are running. We get up a few flights of stairs trying to beat this water. And eventually the same thing happens like the first wave. It stops. And so obviously some of us, survived it. And things seemed to be calming at that point. It seemed to die down. And then the water starts to recede. So the water started to receding, and the people, they're like, oh, everything's fine, whatever. And so some people start going down to the lower levels of the building. And I'm over here warning them, and I'm telling them, why are you going down there? It's not over yet. It's not over yet. And the people weren't listening to me as I'm warning them. And as that happens, I turn and I look out the window. And it was the wave. The third wave. And it was so big. The wave was so big that all I saw was water in the window. You couldn't see anything else out the window. And at that point I knew that most of us were gonna die that were there. The water started to sweep people away. And there were people in the that were on levels higher than us. And they were in elevator shafts, and they were throwing down ropes, empty elevator shafts, throwing down ropes so people could try to climb up. But it was too late. And the people that were holding the ropes had to let go. Because if not, they would be swept away too. So they abandoned the people that were climbing the ropes. And people were getting so desperate. The people that were on shorter buildings were thinking up plans of how to get to the taller buildings. They were thinking of, how do I describe it? I don't remember what it's called. You know how it's like putting a rope between two buildings and kind of, swinging from one building to another. I forget what that's called, but they were thinking about doing stuff like that, but it was kind of pointless at that point. And a lot of people died, and we were all taken over. And even myself in the stream, I got swept away. So, guys, this is the second dream I've had about this in the past 8 years. And I thought that I was done warning people about this. It was in March that he reminded me of my first dream and told me I needed to warn people, and he wouldn't stop. It was like a fire in my belly. I was so uncomfortable. I was up all night about the first dream that I had, and it wasn't until I opened my mouth and I told people that I felt peace again. So guys, this is your second warning. At least from me, If you live in New York City, you're going to have to eventually leave there, because he's going to allow this to happen. This will happen. It's been confirmed by tons of people having very similar dreams with very similar details. It's going to happen, guys. If you live in New York City area or any surrounding cities or states even, if you're before the Appalachian Mountains, you need to really, 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 really come up with a plan to get out of there. And just remember that it was summer in my dream. Both times. It was summer. Guys, I just want to say, if you haven't accepted Jesus, as most people know him, or Yahushua HaMashiach is the way I like to refer to him, he's here, and he wants you to become a part of his body. Just confess that he is your Lord, he's your Savior, and talk to him, read his word, pray to him, commune with him, become friends with him, follow his laws and statutes and commandments. He's coming very, very, very soon. Some of us will die before he comes. But those of us that abide in him will be free. Okay? So, bless you all, okay? I'll talk to you whenever I get something else. Alright, bye-bye.